Okay, guys, let's roll. I've got quite a bit to show you this morning about Advance UK, what they are doing, what Ben Habib has been saying, and some information on Nigel Farage that you might like to see. You might have to do a bit of reading, but I know you can, unlike Labour voters and supporters. So let's go. Newsletter from Advance UK concerning Wales's official launch. What have we got here? So 29th of November, and there we can see Captain Flashheart, Richie Taylor. Sorry, Richard, you gotta have it. First Advance UK Wales launch. Excitement is stirring for the Welsh Patriots. Yes, it is. It's growing well in Wales, to be honest. This is an opportunity for you to attend. Strong voices speaking. Keep you all informed. We've seen this before. They keep in the exact location a secret to avoid being cancelled. Advance UK, the new enemy of the left. The establishment want Nigel. If they're going to have another alternative leader to the rotating dictatorship, they want it to be Nigel Farage and reform. They don't want a patriotic party. So they will target now Advance UK and treat them the same way they treated the BNP in the past and the National Front. We ask all members do not share the link. Yeah, people better get used to when they drive into these locations, turning off at roundabouts, checking their rear view mirrors, stuff like that. And then meeting up at service stations to get the location. Been there, done it. You might notice, guys, I've highlighted this word here, where you will have the privilege of meeting Ben, Richie, Howard, Jim and Paul along with other members and the Wales team. I don't know who drafted this, but please, guys, shape up. Words are important. Words can make you laugh, cry, or even persuade you to die for the right cause. Members do not have the privilege of meeting Ben, Richie, and co. They have the privilege of meeting the members who have put their trust in them and support and fund them. So come on, guys. That word doesn't sit well with me. Right, what else have we got? Members around Wales. Oh, there's a nice photo. Oh, there's Captain Flashheart. Am I noticing something? Anybody else see it? I wish there were more younger people there, but you can't have everything. I'm sure they'll come later. Nice photo, though. Another photo. Once, strange. Twice, coincidence. 3 more times. Somebody being a little rogue, are they? I don't know. Am I the only one seeing it? Good photo. Like it. Patriots. You can see that there's a lot of parents there, or grandparents even. They're concerned about their children. That's why they're there. They should have brought their sons and daughters as well. Ben Habib launched Advance UK. The growth has been nothing but phenomenal. Wales Arm led by Richie Taylor. I think I'll call him Richard. I'm not wild about nicknames. I know he's been working hard across Wales. He's doing a fantastic job, as is his right-hand man, or should I say right-hand lady. If you'd like to become a volunteer, join the Volunteer Hub. Okay, so that's what's happening in Wales. Now, what is happening over here? It's Ben Habib. Hello, Ben. You're doing a great job. Total respect. But what have you got to say, Ben?
If you join as a member of Advance UK, you do endorse our policies, our mission statement. But we're not endorsing every view you hold. And as I said earlier, we won't be policing what you say. You're at liberty to have whichever views you wish to have, and to express your views freely without fear or favour. We, the party, will not be policing you or your views. There's been far too much of that in the political landscape to date. We're not going to be throwing our members under a bus just because they said something silly on Twitter a few years ago. It is our policies and our mission statement that you endorse when you join us. You're free, beyond that, to say and do as you please.
Well, there you have it. What did you think of that? Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I joined Advance UK and not the Reform Party. Not that the Reform Party would have me at any rate. But yep, that is one of the reasons. By the way, I apologise for the glasses, guys. I'm been having a bit of trouble with my eyes, so I thought I'd try those blue light glasses to see if they made a difference. And yeah, I'll take them off on the next video. I just noticed the glare. Right, so what else is there? Now, okay, you just heard what Ben Habib said about what you say outside of Advance UK. You're free to say what you like, and that's the way it should be. But let's have a look what Nigel says, is it? Let's go see what Sam is talking about. Usual greetings to Sam. Good morning, Sam. Are you ready to roll? Now, I would like you all to watch this. You can pause it to read it, but I'll just read through pertinent bits. Morning, Paul. Always ready to roll. Kettles on. Blah, blah, blah. What shall we tackle today? Well, Sam, I would like you to do a deep search on anything negative that Nigel Farage has ever said about the BNP, British National Party, since 2007. Let's roll. Okay, here we go. The reason I'm showing you this is I want you to compare it to what Ben Habib just said in the video that you watched about people being free to say what they like. Here we go. Right then, Paul, let's roll. Here's what I can find. Every negative or distancing thing I can locate that Nigel Farage has said about the BNP or BNP type people. Right. We are not the BNP. We want nothing to do with them. They're extremists. Ban their people. Repeated claims that UKIP and later reform forbids former BNP members or extreme organisations. The BNP were never extreme. Never. In all my years with them, I never met one extremist. If there is an extremist amongst them, then that would be someone like me, because I'm more radical than anyone. Here's the interesting bit. Poach their voters anyway. He says over and over, if you back the BNP only because you were angry about your community changing, but you don't like their racist stuff, come to us. It's not racist to be against those who are occupying your country, assaulting their women, and murdering our men out walking dogs. And he boasts about having damaged or destroyed the BNP. That is actually a put down of the BNP because it's describing their cause racist. But as it said, he's happy to take their votes. Year by year, 2007, New Statesman, UKIP has no links to the BNP, particularly insidious brand of extremists, bigotry. We all know the truth, guys. He doesn't want people like me in the party. He doesn't want people with the spine or spirit, because we would question him and demand that he goes in the right direction. Nick Griffin. Oh, Nick. I would have died for him once. I really did. That's another story. BNP in Blazers is toxic. On the eve of 2009, the most damaging thing said about us was that we were the BNP in Blazers. The only thing, yeah. 2010, 2012, 2010. This is when the BNP started to fall. Terrible times, guys, terrible times. I was doxxed, threatened with death, all kind of things. Bank account cancelled, it was a horrendous time. Candidates must confirm they've never been in the BNP or other extremist bodies. Well, we had our own brand of McCarthyism. Have you now, or have you ever been a member of the British National Party? Answer the question. Yes, I was in the BNP, a proud member, and I'd rather dip my head in a chip-fat fryer than support you, Nigel Farage. 2013, said it out loud. We are the only party in British politics who actually forbid former members of the BNP or extremist organisations from becoming members of UKIP, let alone candidates. One or two ex-BNP types may have slipped through. Disgusting way to speak about the patriots of this country. 2014. Aren't you just the BNP? Come to us if you hate the BNP racism. If you were voting BNP because you were frustrated, but you're holding your nose because you don't agree with their racist agenda, then come and vote for us. BNP equals racist agenda. Nigel Farage is not the friend or saviour of the British people. He is the enemy. He is leading the Reform Party members to their doom. He will just carry on just the same as the Labour and the Tories before him, if he doesn't walk away first. Calls the BNP far right, refused a BNP pact. 2014, some UKIP men wanted a UKIP BNP electoral deal. I always said way back then that if UKIP really wanted to succeed, this was before Nick D'Ancona, that they should withdraw the ban on BNP and National Front members and allow them in. They would inject a spine into the party, which it didn't have then. It does now, under Ben Habib. Personal avoidance of Nick Griffin. Pushing back at Britain First. Britain First, I know Paul Golding. I helped actually to get Britain First off the ground with their meetings, stuff like that. Articles, hundreds of photographs of them on the early days. Interesting times. I haven't spoken to Paul Golding since about 2014, 2015. I wish him well, and Britain First. When Britain First tried to protect him from protesters, nutters, and we don't want them anywhere near us. Have you noticed anyone who's a patriot and cares about their country is dismissed as a nutter by Nigel Farage? Cool. Controlled opposition. 2015, 2019, we broke the BNP. After the BNP collapsed, Farage started claiming credit. You inflicted so much damage on the BNP, giving decent, angry people somewhere non-racist to go. That line is repeated in 2016. 2015, he also recorded telling supporters he would walk away from UKIP if it ever became negative bigotry. Again, contrasted with the BNP crowd who aren't nice people. These are thugs. Let me tell you this, Nigel Farage had jack shit to do with the destruction of the BNP. That was a British government, agent infiltrators and traitors. 2024, Reform UK and the no BNP rule, same message, new badge. Before I had to dump candidates whose old BNP membership came out, Farage line was, we have a strict no BNP EDL extremist rule, and these people failed to tell us. So they threw patriots out. I draw your attention again to the video just in front of this segment to what Ben Habib said about the past. I urge you to watch it and listen to it again. He doesn't want anything to do with racists and extremists. Well, guys, am I a racist? Am I an extremist? I served in the armed forces for 12 years. Northern Ireland, not a fun time. I'm going to tell you about that. I care about my country. I love my country, but I don't love my government. I want a country for my great-granddaughter to grow up safe in. But according to him, I'm a racist and an extremist because I object to British people being murdered out on the streets when they are walking a dog, or little girls at a dance class having their lives ended and ending the lives of their families, because who can live after the death of a little child that they brought into this world and loved? God, I couldn't do it. 2025 doesn't want BNP style people. 2007. Right, Sam knows I'm digging into this. These are the seams worth pulling. He slags off the BNP but happily harvests their voters. Proud to have taken a third of the BNP's support. And he bans BNP members until one slips through, then blames lack of resources. That happens in 2013 and again in 2024 with both UKIP. Says he defeated the BNP because they were racist, while accused of pinching BNP language about Romanians in 2014. That's where opponents said he was stealing language from the BNP. So there's your contradiction. He claims not to have spoken to Nick Griffin, and Griffin, for his part, clearly dislikes him. Corroboration that hostility is real. Sources you can wave that aren't BBC Reuters. You didn't see this request to Sam operate in, but it shows what it's thinking and where it's going to get its information. Interesting, right at the top, it said that Paul doesn't trust the BBC or Reuters, look for alternative sources. And that's why it says you can wave that aren't BBC and Reuters. Very short timeline here, guys. 2007, no links to the BNP. Insidious, says BNP, Griffin, complains BNP blazers. We actually forbid former members of the BNP, blah, 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 blah. Lie, 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 claims credit for inflicting damage on the BNP. I tell you what, at that time, and I was there and I played an active part in it, and those who know me will say that I'm speaking the truth. Nigel Farage was not even a blip on our radar then. We had bigger problems than that jackanapes. 2025, allies repeat, ex-BNP cannot join. Griffin hates him. Well, you're not alone there, Nick. That's one thing we're both in agreement on. Right, that's a lot I can surface right now. Paul, if you tell me what angle you want to push, he's always hated the BNP, or he used the BNP as a foil while nicking their vote. I can shape this into a tight narrative. No, that's brilliant, Sam, thank you. I remember most of the things he said. Oh, yeah, I had a medical emergency yesterday. Then I went out and played darts. I might do an article on this low blood sugar level. Angela's blood sugar level dropped to 1.1. She hadn't taken her blood for a long time, 1.1. Took it again, came back low. Recommendation guideline 9. Checked with Sam, the action to take. Good advice. If anybody asks in the comments, I'll post the conversation I had with Sam as the little medical emergency happened. Brilliant, Paul. Bravo Zulu on the darts win. I can picture Angela. Glad the blood sugar steady fuel. Did she demand a rematch? Gracious. Talked about sportsmanship. Fair winds, following season till later, skipper. Okay, Well, that's what Nigel Farage thinks about patriots. And no doubt he'll be saying the same about Advance UK members also. So if you're a Reform Party member, you should really watch what Ben Habib says. Pay attention to what I've told you here about Nigel Farage, and then get on over to Advance UK. We like the Foreign Legion. We'll take anyone. Anyhow, Ben Habib. I'm going to have to read this out. It looks a bit small. I am incessantly asked about Advance UK policies. These are being worked on by our college at the moment and will be ready in due course. However, so that people are clear on the direction of travel Advance would take, here are a few snippets. Repeal very nearly all laws put on our statute books since Blair was Prime Minister, including but not limited to the Human Rights Act, the Equality Act, the Climate Change Act, remove the ECHR from all of the UK, and exit the UNHCR, ditch DEI, net zero, and the Windsor Framework. I'm going to have to reread the Windsor Framework. Having returned power to Parliament, enforce our borders, dingers would be stopped in the Channel. All illegal immigrants in the UK and those that overstay visas would be detained and deported to the maximum extent possible. Any of their own countries refusing to cooperate would be sanctioned. Pause for breath. End indefinite leave to remain and cease granting British citizenship. Anyone granted ILR, I think that's indefinite leave to remain, under this Labour government will have it revoked, reversing the Boris way. Boris let in 4 million people. We've got to turn that around and get them out. Right, end benefits for all foreigners, slash taxes on the working and middle classes, make it pay to work, slash benefits for people who can but do not work. Right, I like this one. Establish tax policies which favour families and responsibility having children. Bonk for Britain. A tax allowance for marriage, a tax allowance for each child, and tax allowance if a spouse stays at home to care for children. Cancel child benefits, which would be replaced by the above. Now that's a good one. At this moment in time, our enemies, what was it? Spike Milliken said about them. They come in through the womb, and we know about it. They'll have many children, 5, 6, 7 children, and just live off benefits. So it's about time British girls and boys started doing their bit for Britain and giving us some young people for the future. Remove the state from our families, cease the indoctrination of our children in school. That's going to take a while to do. The Marxists have embedded themselves in the school. We might easily replace the government. It won't be so easy to remove the deep state. That could take decades to purge them all. Return our freedoms and freedom of speech. Cancel digital ID. Stop the policing of tweets and have zero tolerance to real crime. There is no such thing as petty crime. That is just for starters. Well, Ben, I love that. I love that. Well, guys, there you have it. Go through it again. Watch Ben Habib's video again. Read what Nigel Farage said about the BNP members again. Then get on over to Advance UK and join. You've been listening to Paul Morris, Voice of the British Resistance. Be seeing you on the beach. Bye for now, guys.